Hello, Christ is in our midst. I'm Father Kevin Long of St. Elias Antiochian Orthodox Church in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Today's Sunday, November 17th, 2024, and here are the readings for today. A reading from St. Paul's letter to the Galatians, chapter 2, verses 16 through 20. Brethren, knowing that a man is not justified by works of the law, but through faith in Jesus Christ, even we have believed in Christ Jesus in order to be justified by faith in Christ, and not by works of the law, because by works of the law shall no one be justified. But if, in our endeavor to be justified in Christ, we ourselves were found to be sinners, is Christ then an agent of sin? Certainly not. But if I build up again those things which I tore down, then I prove myself a transgressor. For I, through the law, died to the law, that I might live to God. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 12, verses 16 through 21. Let us be attentive. The Lord said this parable. The land of a rich man brought forth plentifully, and he thought to himself, what shall I do? For I have nowhere to store my crops. And he said, I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, Fool, this night your soul is required of you, and the things you have prepared, whose will they be? So is he who lays up treasure for himself, and is not rich towards God. As he said these things, he cried out, He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Glory to thee, our God, glory to thee. I don't think that today's gospel should sit well with many Americans. Why would I say this? Because the American dream, to be perfectly honest with you, is to build bigger barns. Always this image of progress, moving from the time that you leave high school into some kind of vocation or college, and then if not vocation then vocation after college, and each time things increase and increase and increase. Comedians make fun of it. Now I realize I'm dating myself, but both George Carlin and also I can think of at least one other comedian have routines where they talk about their stuff and how essential it is to build bigger things to store even more and more stuff. But the reality of it is, as you get bigger space, the more possibility for more stuff to be stored there. So if we think about it, we really find ourselves in a dangerous position in this story, because we are more on the side of the rich man and his barns than other people. So why is God so mad at the rich man? Because the food that he is growing is not just his. God doesn't keep him from having food for himself and for his family, but he does expect that whatever there is that is excess should be given to people that need it. And in fact, the Christian tradition itself carries on in this kind of vein for centuries. St. John Chrysostom, for example, talks about surplus, not necessarily of food, but maybe of clothing or other possessions. And he says that if you have more than what is necessary, you are keeping it from the people that actually need it or even deserve it. Now, St. John would be seen as a radical in this day and age because we reward people who protect and save and scrimp. But the question is, what happens when we do such a thing? Now, I want you to think about it. I don't want you to just sit there and immediately do something about it. But when we begin to develop our sense of what it is that we need and how we can provide for ourselves and how we're going to make sure that we have things so that we are never in a position of weakness, what are we doing? We are transferring trust from God into material possessions. So we are transferring our faith from the ultimate subject, the one who exists beyond all creation, the very source of everything that's good and true and beautiful, the one and true and living God on the one side, and dead material on the other, that can be consumed by rust or fire or moth or water. That becomes our problem. We have choices to make, and those choices should include doing the right thing so that when we are called before God, we are truly prepared because we can say, yes, I have trusted in God and in God alone. Today's farmer did not trust in God. He trusted in himself. When he did, he perished. He didn't perish just because of what he did. He perished, and what he did was irrelevant to him and his survival. It's a sad irony to all of that. And may we ourselves keep ourselves from going down that road. Well, have a great day. God willing, we'll see you tomorrow.